I'm a liberal. It's hard to find masculine men to date who aren't conservative. And here is the great article from the New York Post. A woman who wants a manly man who can take care of her, but who isn't a conservative. I just don't even know where to begin with this. You're like, I would like a chocolate cake that's not chocolate. Wait, what? Why would a liberal man be like, the things you're describing are conservatism? Okay, let's read. A single woman has made waves for lamenting on TikTok that all the chivalrous masculine men in her dating orbit are conservative. Yes, because chivalrous masculinity are literally conservative positions today. They say masculinity is bad all the time. And a liberal guy who might be ripped or tall or chiseled, if he opens the door for you, he's called conservative. It's these little things. And you'll try and argue it's not true, but spare me, dude. I've seen the Gillette commercials. We all have. And it may be that you don't agree with those commercials and the narratives coming from the machine, but the general idea is traditional masculinity. The things you're asking for don't exist in liberals because they're contradictory. As I was saying, quote, as a liberal woman, it is really hard to find a man who is willing to play the more traditional masculine role in the relationship in today's day and age who is not conservative. A man who wants to pay on the first date, who wants to open your door, who has that want and desire to take care of you and provide, who is not a conservative. You are saying like, I want a guy who's conservative, but not conservative. That doesn't make sense. The LA woman said that men she's dated who do have those quality traits don't align with her political ideologies. And she clarified that just because she wants an old-fashioned gentleman doesn't mean she plans to subscribe to a traditional housewife role. So what are you saying? You want a guy that's going to pay for you? You want a guy that's going to do heavy lifting for you, and then you will do nothing for him? I absolutely love the entitlement and the broken brains, but I don't blame this woman. I blame her parents. I blame society for not teaching people. Look, she has in her an innate desire, a longing for a strong man who's going to roll up his sleeves and shatter wood. He's going to pick up an axe with one hand and just boom, and then the whole oak tree explodes into a million splinters and goes flying. And then he catches a piece of wood and he goes, time for a fire. That's what she's looking for. A manly man who's out there, sweating with his sleeves rolled up when a grizzly bear comes up and he goes, stay back, honey. And then he goes, boom, and he hits the grizzly bear so hard, the grizzly bear's skull just turns to liquid. And then he's like, no one threatens my family. And then he turns around and goes, vote Trump. And she screams and she wakes up from her nightmare. Anyway, she says, and obviously I want, as a liberal woman, I do want to be respected for my independence. And I do want to have my own autonomy in the relationship and not to be combined or confirmed to the traditional female homemaker childbearing role. So you want a guy who is old fashioned and traditional and will pay for you, but you don't want to be a mom to his kids. Like, dude, have a polycule, man. Get a bunch of small, effeminate men who don't want things from you. Listen, the kind of guy who's going to do these things for you likely wants something in return. And it's not that like everyone's entitled to everything. It's quite literally a guy being like, listen, I will pay for you. I will take care of you. I will provide. I will be strong. And in exchange for the things I give, I expect. What are you offering him? You're going to date him? You're going to, give him pleasure and stuff like that? Yeah, and it's probably okay. But understand, most of the guys who work hard to improve themselves, they want a life. They want something. Now, don't get me wrong. Lady, you can find this guy. Maybe a unicorn, maybe hard to find, but they exist. Just, good luck. I really do mean it. I hope everybody finds the person they're looking for. But look, you're talking about somebody who has wants and desires of their own. So you're saying you want to find the one guy who's strong, conservative, not conservative, obviously. She's saying not conservative, but a guy who's strong, masculine, traditional, and progressive. How do you be traditional and progressive? But you want to find this guy, and then you also expect him not to want you to do things for him. It may exist. There may be a guy who's like, look, I just don't want kids. I don't care what you do. But what you're typically going to find is a guy who doesn't want to be in a relationship with you. The kind of guy you're describing who is more traditional will pay. He's going to find you on a dating app. He's going to say, look, I'll hold the door for you. I'll pay for lunch. We'll go back to my place, have a good time, and then you can get the F out. I'll call an Uber for you. That is basically what you will find. A guy who's going to be more traditional is going to say, the reason I want marriage is because I want a family. Maybe you find a guy who says, I want a wife, I don't want kids. He's still going to expect something in exchange. She said, I don't want to compromise my morals and values just to find a man. But am I asking to have my cake and eat it too? Yes. Now, hold on there a minute. I know there's more to the picture than just whether or not they have kids in a family. There's also does the guy agree with BLM and gender ideology? And still, there's going to be an overlap saying no. I'm sorry, there's going to be a paradox. Or I'm screwing up my thoughts. It is a contradiction. The likelihood that a man overlaps with agreeing with gender ideology, liberalism, and leftism, and is traditional and masculine, it's just, they're two separate. There's no overlap is what I meant to say. None. You may find this rare individual, but extremely, extremely unlikely. And if you do find him, he's probably just lying to you because he wants to get laid. That's like saying I want to invest in something without having to do anything but get all the benefits from it. Another chimed in. All I heard is I want someone to take care of me, but I don't want to take care of them. Others had a bipartisan solution. Your morals and beliefs don't have to be in sync with your husband. What matters is you're able to both compromise and work together. Guys, run full speed from this woman. Because if you think you can be in a relationship with a liberal woman who wants a traditional man, she will take your children to California or Washington for a sex change before you know it. I'm not trying to be cute here. I'm telling you straight up. This is what happens. These guys date these liberal lefty women love strong conservative men. No question. I'm not saying every single one. I'm not saying the majority. I'm saying there are many, many, many liberal lefty women who just love strong, defiant men. Now, socially, they may not want to admit it, but come on. Girls love a bad boy. Not a dick, not an evil person. They like someone who's confident in themselves and willing to buck the system. But what happens if you have a child with this person? And then one day she's like, I'm running away to Washington for affirmation for the child. What are you going to do? No. When you marry someone, you got to make sure your values are aligned. So, lady, I'm sorry to tell you, but your politics are bad. And you're not going to find family and happiness. But I wonder the bigger picture here. In a follow-up video, she says she proved naysayers wrong. She dished on a recent date with a man who seemed to share her similar progressive values and wants to help his wife with household duties and childcare. That's exactly what I've been looking for, so I hope it works out. I don't believe her. I think she is just trying to justify socially because she was embarrassed and people were ragging on her. But I wonder if this is the inherent challenge. How do you start a family with someone who holds insane and deranged views? I don't know. Maybe that's the purpose. You won't be able to. I like how she's now saying that, oh, I found a guy who, is going to help with the house. Huh? What you wanted? Wait, hold on. A man who wants to pay on the first date, to open your door, who has that wanted desire to take care of you and provide, who is not a conservative. Yeah, I don't believe it. The guy who's willing to help, how much you want to bet? It's a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Now, I know it's entirely possible she finds a guy like this, but I doubt she will respect a man who she walks all over. I think there's a lot of male perspective in dating, and that women espouse male perspective dating tropes because that's what's in the media. Men want beautiful women. They want women who will help them have a family and take care of that family and who are beautiful because it is related to good genetics. Women want men who are strong and able to protect a family. Traditionally, not every woman, not every man, people have different tastes. But here's what I see. Women, they likely are not going to respect a guy or be attracted to a guy who they walk all over because that is a sign he will not be able to protect you. And that's just it. Now, there's like the dating manosphere stuff, and they say like, don't cry in front of women and things like that. Well, yeah, women are not attracted to that at all. It's not the same as how men operate. Men see women cry and they're like, oh, now what? But it's not going to negatively impact their attraction to a very, very beautiful woman. And a lot of guys date crazy, as they call it. But if women are not as attracted to appearance and are more attracted to status, power, capability, and they see a man crying or serving on them, it's not attractive to them. This is not my opinion. I was reading about why female strip clubs are not as prominent as male strip clubs. Why is it that almost every single strip club is women dancing for men and not men dancing for women? Yes, Chippendales, those things exist. It's because women are not attracted to men in submissive roles. Women go to strip clubs with other women to watch women dance. Yes, you probably know many women who may have done that. And women go to Chippendales not because they're, it's the lusty men. It's because it's an entertainment. Men go to strip clubs to watch women dance because it gets them off. Women and men are different in their attraction. So, lady, I wish you the best of luck. I hope this guy works out. But man, you're asking for a unicorn. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all there.